Hello everybody, Brad Pointer here, and we're here at the beautiful White River in Cotter, Arkansas, and I will show you some beauty. That is the Cotter Bridge, built in 1928. It was built when my father was 7 years old, and at the time they built it, the dams didn't exist on this river. There's a railroad bridge behind it, as you can see, and that railroad bridge is actually the raised part there, that is actually on a swivel, because once upon a time there used to be steamboats that ran up this river, and they would have to turn the railroad bridge so that the steamboat stacks could get underneath it. And I thought that that was pretty neat. Another relic of those times is over there, if you can see on that wall over there. Let me see if I can zoom this thing in a little bit. Yeah, you see that line over there with the marks and the numbers on it? That is water measurement, and before the dam, this river used to flood, and that was to let people know if they were going to get wet or not. The last flood that we kind of had was kind of intentional. They flooded the river because the lake was getting too full, the reservoir, and so they opened all the floodgates, and this whole section was underwater. Even that little building over there was underwater, and so that was the most recent time. Now, before they put the dam in, this was a warm water river. And now that it's coming from the bottom part of the lake, it is a cold water river. So essentially they killed all the local fish. There were bass and both largemouth and smallmouth bass in this river. There were catfish, your basic, all of the warm water fish species that lived in here died off. So they started a stocking program where they would stock the rainbow trout, and it took off so well that we actually ended up being the trout capital of the world, so to speak, or at least that's what we claim. And during the 50s and 60s, this was a great place for tourism because everybody was kind of big on the fishing. Everybody wanted to go fishing. So that's how that all worked. And that's why my dad got a job as a river guide in the late 50s, maybe mid 50s well, he did it for 16 years and he quit in 1974. So yeah, he guided all through the 60s. And yeah, I know he quit in 74 because I was 2 years old when he quit. So it was somewhere around in there. But I just wanted to kind of show you this beautiful river. Now this right here is the Cotter Spring. And the Cotter Spring is, you would think that it, due to its proximity to the river, that it was just river water that was coming from over there. But no, they did a dye test sometime back in the 60s or 70s, I can't remember which, because I wasn't around. This was something that my dad told me. But they did a dye test down there, and what they discovered is that they were trying to trace this one creek that's over on the other side of the river, and they dropped the dye in it and followed it because it kind of, this big creek kind of went underground. Well, they dropped the dye in it, and it came out here on the other side of the river. So this spring somehow travels under. See, there's the spring right there. See that bubbly spot? See that place that's a bubbling? The kind of cloudy spot in the water? That is where the spring comes out. And that's coming from someplace over in the next county over. So that's pretty neat. I always thought that, wow, it's one of those crazy things where, you don't expect it, but that's the way it is. Now see all the fishies? This is the swimming hole. And it's been the swimming hole for probably 100 years. There's, oh, look at that, there's some big fish. I don't know if you can see them. There's some trout in there. Look at them. I don't think you can see them. I think you can maybe see the minnows. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit here. Do we see? Oh yeah, look. The minnows, a big school of minnows. Pretty neato, huh? But this is where I spent a lot of my teenage time when I wasn't working or going to school or otherwise doing silly things like, that education and such. Oh, let's see, this is the rope swing. And used to, right over here, just about where that tree is there was a, well, actually right there, that hollow spot, that kind of, I don't know, half crater, there was a huge tree that was the big spring tree. And as you can see, they had steps and everything going over there. But the big tree had the rope on it. But in the 80s sometime, that big tree, there was a big storm, and that big tree fell over into the water. And local accounts tell of the number of water moccasins that came out from under that tree was crazy. So those are poisonous snakes living in the swimming hole. Yes, we are Kansans. They talk about the crazy Australians. Crazy Australians, same mentality as the crazy Arkansans. Oh, poisonous things? Well, I'll step on it if it comes too close. We ain't got no snake problem here, son. It's only a problem if they bite you. So yeah, we got all kinds of pretty little fishes. I think the big ones keep going places where I'm not. It's aggravating. But they're not like giant. They're kind of I'd say probably a mid-sized trout that are in here. My dad caught one that was almost 15 pounds back when he was guiding. And that was a big sucker. It hung up on the wall before bad things happened to it. Oh, there's one. Oh, but that's a sucker. Okay, oh, there's another one. Those are sucker fish. The big ones that's chasing off all the minnows. I don't know if you guys can see it, but, they dare. You'll just have to take my word for it if the camera is only catching the reflections off the water. But yep, and it's the spring, and that's the Spring Creek. And you wouldn't think that much water was coming out of that little dirty spot over there, but it sure is. And it goes all the way down and joins to the river. So That's all I'll tell you about that right now, because that's pretty much all I know about it. There's a lot of parties down here. Not really parties, I guess. Just more. There was a lot of socialization down here uh, back when I was a kid, and to this day. I mean, this is kind of the during the summertime. This is the spot. So anyway, I'll say something smart. I'm out here waiting for. I had two things to do this morning. I've already done one. I'm about to go do the other. Going to go get some Christmas fixings from the food bank because we poor and I'm unemployed. So if we want Christmas dinner, we're going to have to rely on the kindness of strangers. So we have all this. Isn't it pretty? That's the main river is actually over there behind. This is kind of just a little. I don't know if you would call that an island, but it's just more of a gravel bar that's got stuff grown up on it now. But that almost got, well, the whole shape of it changed when the flood came. Not the course of the river, but the bottom of the river was also affected pretty greatly by that last flood. There were parts where gravel bars were, and now there's just flat rock, just the old limestone. So anyway, I thought I'd come down here, tell y'all a little bit about what I know about this bridge, this river, and this area. And yeah, you may recognize this if you've watched my videos from me and Willow playing Pokemon Go down here, because this was one of the stops. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then like it, and I will catch you on the spatula side. Peace.